Welcome to the Trackpads Military Podcast, where history, leadership, and heroism come alive. Today's episode explores Ctrl+Alt+Combat, drones at war. If you enjoy learning more about military history and extraordinary individuals, be sure to visit trackpads.com for articles, podcasts, and more. This podcast is part of the Trackpads Military Newsletter, where we dive deep into the battles that shaped history. You can also check out militaryharvard.me for books, series updates, and more exclusive content. The sky is no longer the limit, it's the front line. In an era where war can be waged by someone wearing slippers and sipping cold brew, drones have turned the battlefield into a remote workplace. From button-press precision strikes to artificial intelligence-powered swarms that make Star Wars look like a warm-up act, unmanned warfare isn't on the horizon, it's already here, buzzing just overhead. This article dives deep into the tech, tactics, and thorny ethics of drone combat, peeling back the layers of what it means to fight from afar. The evolution of combat drones. The earliest military drones were about as graceful as an elephant attempting ballet. Originally envisioned as remote-controlled aerial targets in the early 20th century, they stumbled their way through development, often more comical than intimidating. By the Vietnam War, these awkward prototypes started to find their footing, transitioning from glorified flying targets to vital surveillance tools capable of capturing images deep behind enemy lines. However, the turning point came during the Balkan conflicts of the 1990s, where drones proved invaluable for real-time intelligence gathering, setting the stage for their leap from passive observers to aggressive participants in warfare. Military strategists soon realized these unmanned aircraft could do far more than just watch the battlefield unfold. They could shape it. The transition from drones as passive surveillance tools to strike-capable combatants revolutionized modern warfare, beginning notably with the Mk1 Predator. Initially designed for surveillance, the Predator gained notoriety when engineers bolted Hellfire missiles onto its wings, transforming it from observer to hunter. Its successor, the Mk9 Reaper, represented another major evolutionary leap, larger, stronger, and considerably more lethal, able to carry a greater payload and linger in hostile skies far longer. Moreover, drones like the Reaper dramatically reduced operational costs compared to traditional aircraft, offering unmatched capabilities at a fraction of the price. This combination of affordability, lethality, and precision swiftly ignited a global competition as nations raced to secure their own drone arsenals. Drones quickly became invaluable precisely because they never tire, never fear, and crucially never question orders. Unlike human pilots, drones require no rest, food, or morale boosts, enabling continuous operations that would exhaust any human crew. They tackle assignments humans might hesitate to accept or outright refuse, from patrolling radioactive environments after nuclear incidents to lingering patiently for hours over hostile territory, waiting for fleeting moments of opportunity. The introduction of high-altitude long-endurance drones, such as the RK-4 Global Hawk, expanded these advantages, allowing for persistent surveillance at altitudes unreachable by conventional aircraft, effectively turning the sky into an uninterrupted digital eye. Autonomous flight technologies continue to evolve, raising intriguing questions about a future where drones might operate independently, guided solely by pre-programmed missions and artificial intelligence algorithms. The real technological marvel, however, comes in drone swarms. Coordinated groups of drones acting with a unity that would make even the most disciplined military formation envious. Drone swarms function on sophisticated algorithms enabling autonomous decision-making, meaning each drone can independently choose how best to fulfill its role within the mission's overall strategy. The result is a carefully choreographed chaos that easily overwhelms traditional defense systems, which typically rely on predictable flight paths and single targets. For instance, during conflicts in the Middle East and recently in Ukraine, drone swarms have demonstrated remarkable capabilities, disabling advanced air defenses and disrupting enemy formations. Recognizing these dangers, militaries worldwide are rapidly developing countermeasures such as electronic jamming, laser systems, and kinetic interceptors designed explicitly to neutralize the threat posed by swarming drones. On the opposite end of the drone spectrum exist micro-drones, tiny, pocket-sized spies capable of feats that would impress even the most seasoned intelligence agents. Devices like the Black Hornet, weighing mere grams, enable soldiers to peer discreetly around corners or survey enemy positions without ever revealing their own location. These miniature drones excel at infiltration, slipping quietly through small openings, capturing critical intelligence, or marking targets for precision strikes. Some variants are even used as assassination tools, delivering lethal payloads with stealth and precision once thought possible only in fiction. Yet, despite their ingenuity, micro-drones face limitations. They possess limited flight endurance, restricted payload capacities, and remain susceptible to weather conditions and electronic interference, making their deployment a delicate tactical balancing act. While airborne drones frequently capture headlines, drone technology is equally transformative beneath the waves. Underwater drones, equipped with sonar, high-definition cameras, and sometimes armed capabilities, silently patrol the depths, hunting submarines or securing strategic maritime assets without surfacing. Maritime surveillance drones enable navies to monitor vast oceanic regions, detecting illegal fishing operations, or spotting enemy submarines attempting to infiltrate secured waters. Additionally, drones designed for amphibious operations bridge the gap between sea and sky, capable of launching from ships, conducting reconnaissance, or even delivering supplies to troops ashore without requiring direct human intervention. Naval drone carriers, essentially floating bases dedicated exclusively to deploying and recovering unmanned vehicles, further expand operational reach and flexibility. Looking even further ahead, space-based drone technology promises a completely new dimension in warfare, with autonomous orbital platforms potentially carrying out surveillance, defensive operations, or even direct engagements from orbit. Digital pilots behind the drone controls. Stepping into the cockpit of a combat drone feels less like strapping into a fighter jet and more like logging into a sophisticated flight simulator. Drone pilots today receive extensive training using advanced simulation software, meticulously blending virtual scenarios with the stress and unpredictability of actual operations. Pilots learn to navigate complex missions from bases thousands of miles away, effectively controlling powerful war machines without ever leaving their chairs. Yet, despite this physical distance from danger, pilots often face unexpected psychological consequences, experiencing profound emotional distress as the realities of warfare seep through their computer screens. Operating drones from remote locations creates a unique psychological challenge, often paradoxically heightening the emotional burden on pilots rather than diminishing it. Unlike conventional combat pilots who physically engage with enemy forces, drone operators alternate between executing life-and-death decisions and driving home for dinner, creating surreal and jarring contrasts. This strange blend of virtual warfare and everyday civilian life contributes to significant cases of post-traumatic stress disorder among drone pilots. Military psychologists have noted that operators frequently struggle with feelings of guilt, anxiety, and even isolation, prompting specialized coping strategies ranging from counseling to group support sessions designed explicitly for these digital warriors. The blurry line between gaming and warfare raises profound ethical questions, transforming the joystick traditionally associated with harmless fun into a kill stick with profound moral implications. Designing intuitive human-maker interfaces has become an essential component of drone warfare, ensuring pilots remain sharp, responsive, and focused under the immense pressure of real-time combat decisions. Training programs place significant emphasis on maintaining concentration and reducing cognitive fatigue, knowing that even a slight lapse can lead to deadly mistakes. Nonetheless, the ease and immediacy of drone strikes present ethical dilemmas. When warfare becomes simple, does society risk trivializing the grave decisions of armed conflict? The career trajectory of drone pilots is complex, characterized by high technical expertise, considerable job satisfaction, and simultaneous struggles with combat fatigue. Aspiring drone operators typically follow structured career paths, transitioning from basic military training to specialized flight schools focused exclusively on unmanned aerial systems. However, the stressful nature of the role, compounded by long hours monitoring screens and making split-second decisions, frequently leads to burnout and retention issues. Interestingly, drone piloting skills have proven transferable to civilian sectors such as aviation, agriculture, filmmaking, and logistics, creating appealing crossover opportunities for those seeking alternative careers. Yet, within military circles, this shift from traditional warrior identity to technology-driven operator raises questions about professional self-perception, sometimes sparking internal debates over the true nature of military service. Operating remotely controlled drones introduces unique command and control challenges, notably communication latency. Those brief but potentially lethal delays between issuing a command and its execution thousands of miles away. Even minor lags can dramatically impact combat effectiveness, turning precise strikes into near misses or unintended collateral damage. Ensuring robust signal security against potential hijacking by enemy forces adds another layer of complexity, as drone signals represent prime targets for adversaries skilled in electronic warfare. Real-world incidents, including successful drone hacks in conflict zones, underscore these vulnerabilities, prompting military planners to carefully consider centralized versus decentralized drone operations and to continually bolster cybersecurity measures to protect sensitive communications channels. Today, drone piloting increasingly blends human intuition with automated programming, signaling a gradual shift from hands-on flight to supervision of autonomous scripts and artificial intelligence systems. This transformation can evoke unease among human pilots, who often express skepticism toward fully autonomous systems, doubting whether algorithms can reliably navigate complex ethical and tactical scenarios. Yet, despite this cautious human perspective, drones equipped with advanced artificial intelligence capabilities continue to prove their effectiveness, leading to inevitable collaboration between humans and machines. Military organizations recognize the importance of preparing their pilots for this new operational paradigm, training them not just in traditional piloting skills, but also in overseeing and managing increasingly autonomous fleets, shaping them into digital leaders comfortable with both manual control and algorithm-driven decision-making. Drone Tech Arsenal, the hardware and software behind warfare. Combat drones pack an impressive range of payload options, transforming them from passive observers into active participants capable of precision strikes. Guided missiles, particularly the Hellfire missile, have become the hallmark of drone lethality, renowned for their pinpoint accuracy in eliminating targets with minimal collateral damage. Similarly, laser-guided bombs offer another dimension of accuracy, relying on target illumination from either the drone itself or ground-based personnel to achieve precise hits. But not every drone payload is destructive. Some carry sophisticated surveillance and electronic warfare systems, designed to jam enemy communications, gather intelligence, or even disrupt radar systems. Looking forward, militaries are actively exploring directed energy weapons, lasers, and microwaves as future drone armaments, balancing their devastating potential against limitations in power consumption and payload weight. Sensors are the unsung heroes of drone technology, acting as the eyes and ears that guide their missions far above the battlefield. High-resolution drone cameras deliver real-time visual feeds, enabling operators to monitor enemy movements with unprecedented clarity. Additionally, thermal, infrared, and night vision systems allow drones to observe in complete darkness or dense smoke, effectively eliminating concealment as an enemy tactic. Synthetic aperture radar enhances drones' capability to see through adverse weather conditions, providing clear, detailed imagery even through dense clouds or heavy rain. Some drones are specifically outfitted with signals intelligence technology, enabling them to intercept enemy communications and electronic signals, often revealing invaluable operational insights. Integrating these various sensors into real-time battlefield analytics creates a dynamic data fusion process, providing commanders with actionable intelligence and dramatically shortening the decision-making cycle. Stealth technology is crucial for drone survivability, enabling them to slip quietly into enemy territory without detection. To evade enemy radar, drones employ low observable design principles such as angular shaping, radar-absorbent materials, and specialized coatings that minimize radar reflection. Engineers continually refine these stealth techniques, prompting adversaries to develop counter-stealth technologies, advanced radar systems capable of detecting even the most elusive drones. Additionally, drone durability plays a key role in survivability. Advanced materials and resilient structural designs help drones withstand enemy fire, allowing them to complete their missions even under intense anti-aircraft barrages. More radical concepts, like self-destruct mechanisms, ensure sensitive technologies don't fall into enemy hands, while futuristic ideas involving self-repairing drones could keep damaged aircraft operational and extend their tactical lifespan significantly. Power and propulsion systems fundamentally shape drone capabilities, influencing endurance, stealth, and operational flexibility. Traditional fuel-based drones offer excellent power output and quick refueling, but their combustion engines increase noise and thermal signatures, reducing stealth capabilities. Conversely, electric drones provide quieter operation and smaller thermal footprints but struggle with limited endurance due to current battery technology constraints. Solar-powered drones, meanwhile, have piqued military interest, with their theoretical limitless endurance, staying airborne for days or even weeks by harvesting solar energy, ideal for extended surveillance missions. To bridge the strengths of these options, hybrid propulsion systems are emerging, combining conventional fuel efficiency with the stealth and reliability advantages of electric systems. Innovations extend further with experimental propulsion methods, including hydrogen cells and advanced fuels, as well as propeller technologies specifically engineered for reduced noise, further enhancing stealth performance. Robust and secure communication networks are critical for drone operations, ensuring uninterrupted control and coordination across vast distances. Satellite links provide global connectivity, allowing operators to control drones from thousands of miles away and facilitating truly global operational reach. While line-of-sight communications offer immediate responsiveness and reduced signal lag, beyond line-of-sight controls rely heavily on satellite infrastructure, posing both security and latency challenges. Mesh networking, a promising alternative for drone swarms, enables groups of drones to communicate directly, dynamically adapting their formation and strategies without relying solely on ground control. Protecting these communications requires rigorous cybersecurity protocols, incorporating encryption, anti-jamming technologies, and regular security updates to prevent adversaries from hijacking signals or disrupting operations. As drone use expands internationally, emerging standards and regulations are crucial to maintaining security, preventing incidents, and promoting responsible global usage of these powerful interconnected combat systems. Ethics at altitude, drones, morality, and warfare. The act of remote-controlled killing via drones introduces profound ethical dilemmas that traditional warfare rarely confronted. Operating drones thousands of miles away from combat zones creates an emotional detachment, sometimes dangerously distancing the human operator from the grim reality of violence. This separation has given rise to the troubling notion of warfare as a clean process, free from personal risk or moral stain. Yet drone strikes are never perfectly surgical. Collateral damage frequently occurs, raising critical questions about whether civilian deaths are a necessary evil or avoidable tragedies born of operational convenience. Public opinion remains deeply divided, viewing drones alternately as efficient protectors minimizing friendly casualties or sinister machines dehumanizing the act of war. Accountability becomes especially complex when drones go rogue or cause unintended harm, due largely to the intricacies of remote operation and the diffuse chain of command involved. Legal frameworks often struggle to clearly assign responsibility for international drone strikes, particularly when operations cross sovereign boundaries. Investigating civilian casualties caused by drones further complicates matters. Obtaining credible evidence in remote and hostile regions is notoriously challenging. Additionally, enforcing military law and international humanitarian principles becomes more difficult when operators and commanders sit in distant, secure facilities far removed from immediate oversight. Military organizations grapple constantly with balancing transparency in drone operations, which fosters accountability and public trust, against the operational need for secrecy to maintain security advantages. As drones increasingly incorporate artificial intelligence, a critical ethical discussion arises regarding who sets the moral boundaries for these algorithmically driven weapons. Autonomous drones capable of making their own lethal decisions raise unprecedented questions about moral and legal responsibility, particularly concerning the accountability of programmers, manufacturers, or military commanders. To avoid artificial intelligence-driven war crimes or unethical combat scenarios, stringent ethical programming standards must guide artificial intelligence development, clearly defining permissible actions and limits within combat environments. International agreements currently debated at high diplomatic levels aim to set global standards for autonomous weapons, highlighting the importance of robust human oversight in drone operations. This human oversight acts as a crucial ethical checkpoint, ensuring drones serve as extensions of human judgment rather than completely autonomous decision-makers. Drones possess a unique psychological dimension, becoming instruments of intimidation and psychological warfare beyond their immediate tactical functions. The persistent presence of drones overhead instills constant anxiety and fear in enemy forces, who never know when surveillance might transition suddenly into lethal strikes. Civilians in drone-patrolled areas endure similar psychological burdens, living under perpetual threat that erodes community mental health and trust. The use of drones in propaganda magnifies these effects, as their technological sophistication can symbolically represent overwhelming military dominance, creating profound ethical concerns about intentionally exacerbating civilian trauma for strategic advantage. Ethical debates surrounding drone use must therefore also address the protection of mental health in communities continuously subjected to drone surveillance. Privacy emerges as another critical ethical issue with drone technology, especially given drones' powerful surveillance capability. Surveillance drones easily cross from battlefield intelligence gathering into invasive domestic surveillance, challenging traditional boundaries between military and civilian oversight. Ethical considerations include balancing security requirements against individual privacy rights, a task increasingly difficult as drones become more sophisticated and widespread. Intelligence-gathering drones must operate within strict ethical frameworks to avoid unnecessarily intruding upon civilian privacy, yet in war zones, these boundaries are frequently blurred or disregarded entirely. Furthermore, drones crossing international borders without explicit permission can violate national sovereignty, raising diplomatic tensions and complex ethical debates about the legitimacy and acceptability of using drones to monitor foreign populations without their consent. Countering the drone threat, defense and detection strategies. Advancements in radar technology have proven essential for detecting drones, particularly as these small, nimble aircraft challenge traditional detection methods. Modern radar systems have become adept at distinguishing drones from birds and other small objects, leveraging advanced signal processing and machine learning algorithms. Acoustic detection supplements radar by listening for unique sound signatures produced by drone propellers, offering a valuable complementary method, especially in areas where radar signals may be obscured or ineffective. Optical and infrared tracking technologies provide yet another layer of defense, utilizing visual and thermal signatures to track drones effectively, even under low-light conditions. Additionally, electronic signature recognition, analyzing signals emitted by drones' command and control systems, plays an increasingly significant role, with defense grids integrating multiple sensor types to ensure robust, reliable detection capabilities. When it comes to actively countering drone threats, directed energy weapons such as lasers are emerging as a cutting-edge solution. Lasers offer rapid targeting and instantaneous effect capable of disabling drones by damaging sensors or propulsion systems at the speed of light. However, conventional anti-drone missiles and kinetic interceptors remain relevant, providing effective physical destruction for larger or more heavily armored drones. Less conventional methods like drone capture net-fired either manually or from automated systems offer non-lethal approaches to capturing enemy drones intact, providing valuable intelligence about opposing forces' technology. Electronic warfare techniques such as global positioning systems spoofing and signal jamming disrupt drone navigation and communication, creating confusion and loss of control. Military strategists continually debate the merits and drawbacks of lethal versus non-lethal approaches, balancing the immediate effectiveness of destruction against potential intelligence gains from capturing enemy drones. Critical infrastructure represents a tempting target for drones, which can strike airports, power plants, and densely populated public areas with alarming ease. Defending these vulnerable sites typically involves layered defensive perimeter systems, combining radar, acoustic sensors, and automated interception platforms to swiftly neutralize drone threats. Recent drone intrusions, such as unauthorized drone flights disrupting airport operations, highlight the practical challenges and urgency of robust defense strategies. Military installations and civilian sites differ in defensive approaches, with military facilities often employing more aggressive, immediate responsive methods, while civilian facilities focus heavily on minimizing disruption and collateral damage. An emerging threat involves drone attacks on digital infrastructure, with potential scenarios including drones delivering cyber payloads or physically attacking data centers and communication hubs, underscoring the need for comprehensive protection strategies beyond purely physical defenses. Cybersecurity vulnerabilities represent a significant drone defense concern as skilled hackers attempt to hijack or disrupt drone operations. Attackers target drones by intercepting or spoofing their signals, attempting to take control remotely or disable critical systems mid-flight. Protecting drone command centers from cyber attacks requires robust cybersecurity measures, including encrypted communications channels, continuous security monitoring, and advanced intrusion detection systems. Cyber warfare scenarios involving drones could include hackers remotely piloting stolen drones to conduct attacks on sensitive targets, or leveraging drones as relay points to infiltrate secure networks. Training cybersecurity personnel specifically to counter drone threats has become increasingly vital, preparing defenders for scenarios that blend traditional cyber attack methods with innovative drone tactics. Anticipating future cyber threats, military and civilian authorities continue developing advanced cybersecurity strategies, such as artificial intelligence-driven predictive threat detection, designed to proactively safeguard drone operations from sophisticated cyber adversaries. International cooperation plays a crucial role in managing drone proliferation and developing consistent global standards. Establishing universally recognized norms for drone use, particularly autonomous drones, has proven challenging, yet essential for preventing misuse and unintended escalation. Diplomatic efforts are underway to negotiate treaties specifically addressing the ethical, legal, and operational implications of autonomous weapon systems, aiming to create binding international frameworks. Cooperation extends to drone defense technology, with allies sharing detection methods, interception technologies, and cybersecurity strategies to combat increasingly advanced drone threats collectively. The global consequences of unregulated drone proliferation remain significant, potentially fueling instability as drones become accessible to rogue states, terrorist groups, and criminal organizations. International disarmament initiatives, arms control agreements, and tighter regulatory oversight efforts are actively pursued, reflecting global awareness of drones' potential risks and the necessity of cooperative governance to manage them effectively. Conclusion: drones have reshaped modern conflict not with a bang, but with a broadband connection. These unmanned juggernauts are redefining everything we thought we knew about war, from who fights it to how it's fought, and even how it's justified. With each algorithmic decision and remote select nor strike, we edge further into a battle space where technology isn't just a tool, it's a teammate, and sometimes a decision maker. But as we marvel at the capability, we're forced to wrestle with responsibility, privacy, and the very nature of power. Welcome to the new rules of engagement, written not in blood, but in code. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of the Trackpads Military Podcast. If you'd like to dive deeper into more stories of courage, leadership, and battlefield history, visit trackpads.com for articles, podcast archives, and exclusive content. You can also explore the library of military history books and ongoing series by visiting militaryhistorybooks.org's page at militaryhistorypod.me. Whether you prefer to read, watch, or listen, there's always more to discover. Until next time, keep exploring, stay inspired, and remember, the lessons of the past shape the warriors of the future.